Hey there, Storm fans! Bryant Cook, and today we're playing my very favorite Pauper deck, Cycle Storm. I'm sure you've seen it dozens of times here on this channel. And about 2 weeks ago, I debuted a new mana base. You can find that video in the card above. And this new mana base is simply just all basic lands and Ash Barrens. No Baron Moors, no tap lands. We want to keep a high velocity rate when we're cycling, which allows for a higher turn 3 or turn 4 rate because you get more cards in the graveyard more quickly. Yes, there is a slight increased variance of drawing too many basics, but Ash Barrens can thin min combo, and we're playing an extra copy of Dahada's Ploy. Today we're actually testing out another change, only one copy of Repository Scob, a card that I absolutely love and is near and dear to me. When I mention this, people are always like, well, that's wrong. It's happened a few times to me already, and I think that sometimes you have to reevaluate cards in new contexts. So we're playing a list that sees less cycle, or that is more likely to fizzle because we have more basic lands in our deck, even with the extra copy of Dahada's Ploy. We are playing an extra cycle creature over the 4th Lotus Petal to help, not fizzle as often. So why play a second copy of Mystical Teachings over Repository Scob? Isn't Repository Scob super broken? You can get back Reaping the Graves or Songs of the Damned, right? Well, the real issue here is that after I recorded that first video, I kept on testing out this deck list because I wanted to see how far I could push it. And in those videos, in those leagues, I should say, I didn't record those, but in those leagues, I noticed that I would draw Repository Scob before having the Reaping the Graves, before having Songs of the Damned, and it just did absolutely nothing. It didn't cycle, it didn't, absolutely garbage. Where Mystical Teachings could go get that first copy of Reaping the Graves or Songs of the Damned or whatever. So I'm trying to switch here where I'm on 2 Teachings, 1 Scob. I understand that finding the first copy of Repository Scob is super good, but the second one is almost always terrible. So I think I'm okay with this, at least for now. Something that's happened since the last time that I recorded is Monastery Swissbeer was added in to burn. What? I can't believe that they downshifted that card to a common. I truly cannot. I think the only thing that burn was lacking was a good 1-drop in the format. So when you look at the burn deck, it has Lightning Bolt, it has Lava Spike, Fire Blast, it has tons of broken cards, and Pauper. The only thing was lacking was good 1-drops. You had G2 Lava Runner, and that was it. And now all of a sudden you have Monastery Swissbeer? Wow. So I think Burn just went to being one of the best decks in the format, and I truly do mean that. Well, when you think about it, well, why am I not playing Gnaw to the Bone then? If Burn's the best deck in the format, I should be playing Gnaws. That's one way to think about it. Another way to think about it is you have 3 copies of Lotus Petal because you just cut 1 for an Architect's Will. And then you have 4 copies of Ash Barrens, and then a hypothetical sideboard 4. So you have 8 green sources in your deck for 3 Gnaw to the Bone. And if you're going to find that forest with Ash Barrens, that's 1 creature that doesn't enter the graveyard. So that means on turn 3, you're giving up your entire turn to gain maybe 6 life, possibly 8 if you burn a Dark Ritual. Is that really what you want to be doing? I don't think so. I think that's a bad play pattern. But people always say, well, yeah, you gain 6 or 8 life. But is that really that meaningful if you're giving up your entire turn against the burn deck? It does have flashback, but once again, that's another time walk for the opponent. So how far are you really advancing your own game plan? Instead, I'd rather play something like Hydroblast, where Hydroblast kills the Monastery Swissbeer to slow them down. It also counters Red Elemental Blast that might be targeting your Dahada's Ploy, or removal on your Repository Scob. I think it just makes way more sense. You're able to slow them down while advancing your own game plan, and you're not searching for an off-color land. On the combo turn, Island actually helps you win where Basic Forest doesn't. So I am really interested today in testing out Hydroblast, and then an additional copy of Dahada's Ploy in the sideboard. We'll be boarding out Street Wraith due to Dahada's Ploy not being as effective as something like Gnaw to the Bone. Yes, we do lose a little bit of speed by boarding out Street Wraith, but we're also looking to slow the opponent down. With no green, I am playing Repeal instead of something like Dissenter's Deliverance. So this list is pure Dimir for the most part. Yes, we have a Flaring Pain, and yes, we have Stingers, haha. But for the most part, we are pure Dimir. And this is really where I want to be when playing Pauper. I want to be fast, I want to be consistent, and I think that's what this deck list does. That's my introductory rant. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you loved this deck tech. But for now, I'm going to head on over to the first match. I hope you join me there. Thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to click that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. That said, there's no better way of showing your support than becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks, and we get to keep making combo content. The perks get better and better each level you go up. They also stack. To start off, with our Storm Fan tier, you unlock our private members section of our Discord, which comes with a highlighted user profile and then some awesome badges and emotes for YouTube. Looking for sideboard help? Become a Stormtrooper, our middle tier, for 2 sideboard guides of your deck choice every single month, on top of 50% off donation decks. Did we mention you also get 10% off merchandise from our shop? With our top tier, the Combo Cabal, you get a free donation deck every single month, 15% off merchandise from our shop, early access to private deck lists, and the most valuable perk in my opinion, videos early. That's right, you heard it, early access to all videos. But maybe sweet perk, secret deck list, early access to videos isn't for you, but you'd still like to show your appreciation. Make sure to check out theepicstorm.com/shop for card singles and Storm swag. Please don't forget to use your membership discounts. Finally, if you want to see your combo deck here on this very YouTube channel, make sure to visit theepicstorm.com/donation decks, where all you have to do is attach your TXT file and pick a donation tier. With our Epic tier, you can even join me in a video to showcase your bold brew in person and explain the ins and outs of your strategy. Card availability won't be an issue due to our new sponsor, Card Hoarder. With Card Hoarder, renting is super easy. If you're looking to get into Magic Online, there isn't a better, more affordable solution than Card Hoarder. Fun fact, you can rent the Epic Storm for 7 tickets a week, which is just a great deal. There are many ways you can support us. Just pick whatever is best for you. In the meantime, let's play some Magic. Alright, time for the first match. We're on the draw and we've opened up a great hand we're going to keep. Let's see what our opponent's playing. I loved opening up on double land. Like, I wish that we had one more cycler, but this hand's pretty strong. Opponent names black, so they have red, black as their lands. Okay, we picked up a cycler. Let's pass the turn. We'll cycle on their end step after we see what they're doing. Alright, so they're Mardu, apparently. Lifelink Extort. Okay, so we're going to cycle this. I can resolve. Okay. Let's just pass the turn. Once again, cycle on their end step. They are a black deck, so something like Bojuka Bog is not out of the question. So they're going to attack with the Tithe Drinker. We'll take 2. You got it. Third land. Alright. We're just going to cycle now. Alright, welcome to Hottest Ploy. Cycle again. And the other ploy. We don't have a blue source yet, but those are decent. Draw. Let's cycle, see if we can hit. Another land. Cycle. Reaping the Graves. So I can go Dark Ritual, Songs, Cabal Ritual, Cabal Ritual. I've already played a land. I think I'm going to pass. I think I can afford to wait a turn. And if they try to Bojuka Bog me, I can always respond. And now we're taking 5 down to 13. Faithless Looting, okay. So looting resolves, they draw 2. What are the discards? Terminal Agony, I have no idea what this is. Destroy target creature. That's not going to be super helpful here. I play another tap land. Okay. So I think it's party time. Cycle. And another songs. Cabal Ritual. Cabal Ritual. Okay, I'm going to hold priority on this. Oh, I guess I held the wrong key. Okay, so I bought a new keyboard yesterday, and I'm still struggling a little bit, if I'm being completely honest, so bear with me. This might be a messy league. Okay. I will figure out how to hold priority at some point. Actually, let me try this key. Let's see if this one does it. Well, that didn't do it. Let's try this one. All right. We got there. I figured out the hold priority key. Look at me now. My mom would be so proud. Just holding all this priority. I'll tell you when I'm ready to draw. Okay. Picked up another Reaping. Cycle. Still no island yet. There's a blue source. I like that. Dark Ritual. Dark Ritual. Let's cast Deploy. Discard the Teachings. Cycle. Cycle again. Lovely. So that's songs number 3. Let's just cast it. Okay, Storm 12. We're just going to return everything. We have plenty of mana floating. No need to cycle with the trigger on the stack. Just waste time. I'm not looking to do that here. Okay, keep cycling. We finally hit a blue source. Keep cycling. That's songs number 4. So at this point, we're really just looking for the Blood Celebrant. Okay, and we have all 4 Stingers already. 19 cards left in deck. Let's pull out some lands. Why not? Well, I guess there's only one land to pull out. There's the Celebrant. I'm just trying to maximize my Stingers here. Or my Songs of the Damned. My bad, misspoke. 17 mana, play this. Let's play the Stingers. 1, 2, 3, 4. These will still deal damage even though there's nothing to get. Okay. Surprise, surprise. Let's gain a whole bunch of life here. Discard a land. Cabal Ritual. And this should get the job done. Some Street Wraiths up there. Honestly, I could just close my eyes and click. We don't need to be super careful here. I think the time on the clock is more valuable than returning everything at this point. Okay, 11 cards left. Each Street Wraith cycle deals 4. Cycle, cycle, cycle. Okay. And that'll do. That's game number 1. Facing this red-black deck. Part of me wonders if we're even supposed to sideboard. I think the answer is likely not. I think we just want to stay consistent and do our thing. So I'm just going to click the submit button. Okay. Game number 2, we're on the draw. This hand's amazing. Snap, keep. I think the only thing we really want out of this is to draw another land. And then just keep cycling. Got to get that cardio in. The name black. Surprise, surprise. Draw. Okay, pass the turn. I like the Street Wraith pickup. That's going to help us find land number 2 on time. Well, it helps find it. We're not guaranteed to find it. Alright, no play here is kind of surprising. Let's cycle a healer. The Celebrant. Alright, untap draw. No land. So let's start off by cycling a creature we don't care if it gets exiled. I care more about Street Wraith being exiled, so I prefer to hold those if possible. Alright, and the last Street Wraith, we did not hit. So we'll discard the... I think we discard a Cycler. I want to keep the Blood Celebrant. Cathar Commando, sure thing. So we have 5 creatures in the graveyard already. We could potentially try to win on our turn 3 after missing a land drop. That's how good this draw was. And if you think about it, it's really because we opened up on an untapped land too. Okay, so there's a Thriving Bluff. We'll take a draw. I think it's party time. Let's do it. Cycle the Stinger. This is card number 7 in the graveyard. Cabal Ritual. That resolves, we'll cycle the Horror. Cabal Ritual. Cycle Architects. Cycle a Stinger. Cabal Ritual. Play the Blood Celebrant. Let's add a blue. Dahada's Ploy. Do you have a Pyroblast? You do have a Pyroblast. I totally didn't see that coming. Songs of the Damned is on the stack. Okay, now we Reaping the Graves. 9 floating mana, so we do want to be a little bit more selective here. So we're going to start on Street Wraiths and then return other things. Alright, we have exactly enough Storm, which is, you know, cute. And then cycle our Wraithy friends. Alright, so we found land 2. Cycle. Cycle. Lotus Petal's fine. Cabal Ritual number 4, running hot on those. Cycle. Go to 6. Don't think I want to cycle this. Like right now, mana's a choke point, so cycling to go get an island when you have a Blood Celebrant's pretty greedy. And our opponent just had enough. Let's take a few more draws here. Pretty early. I mean, this would have found a Songs of the Damned. I'm not going to say we were guaranteed to win, but I think this was a little bit of an early concession, but I'll take it. We are 1-0. Still no Monastery Swiftspears yet, but I'm sure there will be some this league. I'll see you in match 2. If you haven't joined them already, I would recommend opening up our description down below and joining our 7 social media networks. They're each great in their own way, but I would strongly suggest joining our Discord server. In there, you will find others just like you looking to improve their Storm game and grow as a combo community. If you're a member of our YouTube channel, you should sync your account to Discord to unlock our private member section that has the latest and greatest deck lists, concepts, and much, much more. Let's get back to comboing out. Alright, match 2. We've opened up a single cycler. The rest of the hand is bananas, but I don't think we can keep this, unfortunately. If this was a land, you could start to think about it, but I think we should just go to 6. Alright, this is very reasonable. I'll definitely keep this hand. Keep and bottom the Horror of the Broken Lands. Why not? Oh, I think our opponent accidentally skipped their turn. Unfortunate. Alright, I'm just going to be lazy and, whoops, main phase cycle this. Get some of that F6 equity. They play a Mountain into Faithless Looting. Okay, so maybe like a Boros Prowess deck? Let's cycle. I'm going to cycle again. Okay. Could also just be like the Hot Dogs deck, the Kiln Fiend deck with Apostle's Blessing. Crash through and Kiln Fiend, yep. This deck also just gained Monastery Swiftspear. Cycle Ash Barrens. Let's grab a Swamp. Draw for turn. Let's go grab another island. Cycle the Architects. We really need. I was about to say a Songs of the Damned, and it delivered. Thank you. We could probably try to win on our next turn. There's the Kiln Fiend, and let's party. And another Reaping. Wow. All right, so we've played our land. We have both islands already. Cycle the Street Wraith, and again, and another Songs of the Damned. I love that. All right, let's cast the Dahada's Ploy. Get a little bit deeper. Discard the Lotus Petal. Cycle Architects, so that way our songs makes 8. And another Songs of the Damned. I think I'm just going to fire these off. This is only returning 6. Plenty mana floating though. It's triple Street Wraith. And then some other creatures. Life is not going to be a chokehold this game just because we have the Dahada's Ploys. Alright, keep cycling. That's songs number 4. So once I cast that one, we will be out. So I don't want to cast that unless I really have to. Teachings. Play a Lotus Petal. I think I'm going to flashback the Ploy only because I drew the Petal. So I don't have to worry about blue as much. Discard the Swamp. Discard Teachings. Dark Ritual. Cast the Reaping. And our opponent conceded. Love it. So this matchup did get a little bit better for us when we added in Hydroblast. So big pickup there. And I don't think Dahada's Ploy is a card we're really interested in because our opponent's playing a deck where they're not burning us for 3. When they deal us damage, they're dealing 18, 20 damage. So I don't think it's really about gaining incremental life. So we have 3 cards coming in. We need to take some stuff out. I actually think Street Wraith is fine in this matchup, so I'm going to attempt to just board out Architects and see how that goes. You could also actually board out Horror, which might be... Oh, and it's not going to let me. Alright, I was too slow. This is fine enough. Keep. Mountain into Faithless Looting. Glaring Pain and Lava Dart. Well, I don't have any fog effects, so I don't mind that. Cycle. Another Lotus Petal. Ooh, no land 2. Draw. Heyo, let's go get our Swamp. And let's just cycle. We're looking for a Reaping the Graves at this point and more creatures. Lightning Bolt, I'm at 17. Well, I guess that was a fast match. Our opponent decided not drawing a land 2 was enough. Let's take a few more draws here. I probably would have cycled the Ash Barrens, so I don't know. Who knows how that would have gone, but I'll take it. We're 2-0, 3 rounds left. Playing your favorite combo deck in Paper just got so much easier with the Epic Storm Mini Token Pack. You can pick one up at theepicstorm.com/shop for $13. It includes 64 double-sided mini tokens. That's 128 tokens total. And they include 10 black, 10 blue, 10 red, 5 green, 5 white, 3 colorless, 20 storm counters. That means that you can count your way all the way up to 20 for Grape Shot, everyone's favorite Stormwind condition, a Galvanic Relay Exile Indicator, 4 treasure tokens for Strike It Rich, and then 10 monk tokens for our vintage friends. It also has Slime Time Live, Ave Progenitor Ooze tokens with the power and toughness already built in to make playing in Paper so much easier. No fumbling around with dice. We've got you covered. Make sure to go grab those if you're playing Modern. And then Squirrels versus Goblins, Chatterstorm versus Empty the Warrens, the Battle of the Ages. You definitely need 20 Squirrel tokens and 20 Goblin tokens. You're going to love this mini token pack, I promise. And once again, you can grab that at theepicstorm.com/shop. All right, match 3, we're on the play. Currently undefeated. Let's see if we can get this one. 4 lands. I'm going to mulligan this. I think it's just likely too slow. Okay. A little risky. I think it's probably better than going to 5. What we're really asking here is to just, for most of our draw steps, hit creatures. It's sort of a tall ask, but that's where we're at. Basic planes. Okay, so we want a creature off this. Ding, cycle. Okay, so now we can go get our island creature. Alright. Pass the turn. Need creatures. If we draw running creatures next turn, we'll be okay. So by running creatures, I mean draw a creature for turn, cycle it, draw another creature. That would get us up to 4. So our opponent's likely on Boros by the looks of it. They're trying to figure out what land to play here. They choose Mountain. Springleaf Drum. Okay. Draw. Ugh. Pass the turn. It's a lightning bolt. Yep. We're at 14. 3 cards in the opponent's hand. There's a Battle Screech. So they're actually threatening lethal next turn with a rally. I can't go for it. I mean, I just don't have anything. I have to pass. I need to draw creatures. Killing me. Oh, jeez. Pass. Could just be dead here. So currently 6 coming in. If they have rally, it's going to be another plus 12. And they do have Rally the Peasants. So we lost game number 1 in a very favorable matchup. Unfortunately, we didn't draw the creatures. Our deck has 26 creatures in it. We saw 3 of them. So I like Repeal in this matchup. They have a lot of small stuff you can bounce, like tokens if they don't have a relic or anything. So it has pseudo cycling in a way. And I think you're probably fine to just board out Architects. Oh, I forgot. We need the Flaring Pain. Let's bring that in. Cut a Teachings. Is it going to let me? Alright, it did let me. Thank you. Game 2 on the play. Sure. A little bit slow, but I think it's fine. Alright, I'm just going to be lazy, go grab a swamp. Pass the turn. Plains into cat. Let's go grab another swamp. We just want to thin here. Reduce our land density a little bit. I'm just going to be lazy and cycle this. Pass. Turn 1 or turn 2 drum, garrison. And then they can tap cat to play something else. They're going to hold open the cat. Alright, I'm just going to pass here. It's Cycle and Ash Barrens. They have 2 lands in their hand. I'm going to use this as an opportunity to play Ploy. Discard a Repeal. I don't need 2 of that. Alright, 4 mana. Is this a Battle Screech? It is. Draw. Let's cycle. Yeah, I'm gonna leave the blue up. Pass the turn. No Reaping the Graves yet. They tap the drum, 4 mana. Another Battle Screech. Sure. And I'm just gonna bounce this bird in response. Okay, so we picked up a horror. We still need the Reaping the Graves, but we're looking decent. Alright, time to party. We found it. Dark Ritual, Dark Ritual, Cabal Ritual, Cabal Ritual, Cycle, Cycle again. Teachings is a fine draw here. Cycle. Keep cycling. Let's jumpstart the ploy, discard the teaching, see if we can hit some more creatures. No is the answer to that question. Okay, so Lotus Petal, Songs. And I think I can get more than 8 out of this, so I'm going to try it. Hold priority. And we will cast this Reaping. Street Wraith first. Okay. So we're looking for it to make more than 8 mana. That's the goal here. Cycle. And again. Repeal, cycle. Another Reaping. Need mana. Dark Ritual. Cycle. Again, keep the line moving. Cabal Ritual. So currently it would have made 1 more mana. I'm going to let it resolve. So we got 1 extra mana out of it. And now I'm just going to Reaping again. You could have, in theory, like, flashback teachings and then gotten another songs, but what's the point when you can just go through it all again? Like, it feels like wasted mana to me. Alright, I'm just going to return everything here. We have more than enough mana floating. Okay, cycle. Could play out the Stinger, which is a question a lot of people have watching me play. They're like, you don't play it out until super late. Why is that? And the truth is that mana is a choke point, and you could just double cycle. I guess actually we just have enough mana here. Fine. I won't showboat. This is like a rare exception where I think it's actually fine. Like, you have enough cyclers and the mana to play 2 Stingers. It's fine. Jeez. Okay. I suppose I'll try to win the game. Keep cycling. Cycle Street Wraith. Cycle the Stinger. Just need a few more cycles. Let's play a Blood Celebrant. Songs of the Damned. Add a blue, cast this ploy. Discard a land. Alright, cycle. Lotus Petal. Cycle the Ashburns, I guess. And then we'll need 1 more cycler. Let's jumpstart this ploy. I don't want to show them Repeal 3. And I did not hit. That's annoying. I guess I can Reaping for literally 1. Just click randomly, it's fine. Alright, cycle. Game 3 coming up. No changes to the sideboard, just resubmit. Alright, so this is, I believe, our first mulligan, or that's not true, I've mulliganed this league, but like no land mulligan. Solid. Keep. I think you actually want to bottom the Cabal Ritual here. You want to keep the creature count high and just accept that your deck has more rituals in it. Turn 1 looting. Strand's Cat. Sure. Lazy and main phase cycle. Land 3. They cycle Ash Barrens, and then they can, what is this ability called again? Embalm. I was going to say Unearth, but I knew it wasn't the right keyword. Luminarch Veteran, you got it. Draw. Just play a land and pass. Land 3. Inspector Gadget, you got it. Auto yield to the life gain trigger, I do not care about it. You have a drum. They have 2 cards in hand. Sure, I'm at 19. Cycle. Cycle. Alright, I don't hate picking up a ploy. Let's try cycling the healer first. I feel like we do want to find a blue source soon. Cycle Street Wraith. Alright, we're stuck. Yeah, I'm just going to pass here. Sacrifice the clue. They have 4 cards. Alright, they're embalming the cat. And they're flashing back looting. Depending, they discarded Rally. And they're taking down Strands. No respect. So I could go like Dark Ritual Reaping for 3 and just hope to draw a blue source off a couple cycles. But I don't think that's worth it. I'm just going to untap and because if I draw a blue source naturally, I'm pretty sure we just win. Ding. Dark Ritual. Songs. Play the Scab. Exploit it. Get back songs. Cast. And now we return 6. So it's the whole graveyard. Alright, Street Wraith first. Mana is a choke point here, but also color, so need to hit some decent ones off this. Repealed, not ideal. Cycle. Alright, well, there's another songs. I do enjoy that. Keep cycling. Okay. And there's our blue. I think we've got it now. Dark Ritual. Keep cycling. So now it's just Scab in the graveyard. I'll cast the songs. Alright, played the Blood Celebrant. Alright, I'm going to pay a blue. I believe I can just bounce this. Ding. I want to cycle this repeal as well. I'm going to bounce the Lotus Petal. Lovely. Let's ploy. Wow. Pretty good. Discard the teachings. When you're running hot, you're running hot. Alright, play the Scab. We'll exploit and get back Songs of the Damned. Songs into Reaping the Graves. Love to see it. I'm just going to target. It doesn't really matter at this point, so I'm going to not target Street Wraiths first just because I'm going to return everything anyway. No Stingers yet, for what it's worth, so we can't start winning, at least at the moment. Alright, cycle the Wraiths. 17 life is plenty. Cycle. Let's thin a land out. Another songs. Keep cycling. Lotus Petal number 3. Alright, we picked up another copy of Ploy. Don't really need that at the moment, but it's fine. So I did draw a Stinger. It's not correct to play it here because we don't really have cards in hand or the mana. So like mana, I don't want to say it's a choke point with the songs in hand, but it's just not the right time. Like it can make a mana off song, so why bother playing it? Play a Ploy. Discard a land. Jumpstart. Discard another land. Alright, Dark Ritual, cycle, make a blue. Let's jumpstart this as well, discard the Barons. Alright, 12 cards left in deck, cycle. Cabal Ritual, songs, make a blue, we will scob, exploit. Now we return Songs of the Damned. And at this point we can finally win the game. Songs, Reaping the Graves. Storm 30. I love this deck so much. It's so much fun to play. I'm just like randomly clicking on creatures here. I'm sure I've got everything, and if I don't, it's not a big deal. The thing that I love about this list in particular is that I feel like I just get to cycle so much faster in the early game, which allows me to set up for success more often compared to the list with Baron more. And that was something that I always envied about the mono black list, is that they had so many untapped lands, and now we have even more untapped lands in a multicolored list. I wonder if I should show them the Flaring Pain. Probably not. Like it's sort of just a BM, but it's like I could have used this if you had played correctly and left up the strands. All right, keep cycling. Keep cycling. Cycle. All right, so we'll draw 3 here. Going down to 4 cards. Why not? Let's cast a Cabal Ritual. Cycle again. And again. And again. And let's cycle an Ash Barons to finish them off. 3-0. 2 rounds left. Still no Monastery Swiftspears in sight. Hey, you're still watching. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe. If you're looking to make a purchase from Card Hoarder, TCG Player, or Amazon and are looking to support us, you can open up our description down below, and in there you will find our affiliate links. Those same links are found on the homepage of the Epic Storm. But that's not all. We've included a Card Hoarder button on our website that will load the Epic Storm in your Card Hoarder cart to make life simple for you. Alright, match 4. We are likely playing the Cycle Storm Mirror match. Belina 911 is our opponent, and they're actually the person that showed the All Basics mana base to me. So this is going to be an interesting match. Game 1 is very crucial. So winning the die roll is huge. We'll keep this. Oh, I'm a little nervous. Alright, just cycle. We don't have a Reaping the Graves or Songs of the Damned yet. Blood Celebrant. Not a draw we needed. Swamp, and they're passing. Alright, Dark Ritual, cycle. Scob, Healer, pass the turn. Cabal Ritual. We have no more cyclers, which is pretty scary. They have a Horror of the Broken Lands. Need cyclers here. Not what I needed. Alright, I'm just going to play an island. Pass the turn. I think I'm likely to go Dark Ritual Teachings on their end step, assuming that they don't kill me. Okay. They have 3 themselves. Am I dead? That's the question. They play a Celebrant, so no, I am not dead. Alright, let's cast Teachings. Go get that Reaping. Okay, only 3 in the graveyard. So Street Wraith is a really good pickup there. So that's 4. Another? I was really hoping for another Street Wraith. I feel like it's so risky to try to win here. I don't know if I have a choice, though. Like, we're just going to be dead if I pass. They're F6'd, so they might be in a similar boat here, honestly. Grab the Wraith and then the others. Cycle. 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 Alright. Again. There's a songs. Don't let it resolve though. Cycle this Architects. I don't know if I'm supposed to try to push here. Let's cycle the Stingers, see what the draw is. Alright. So 6 mana. Let's Scob. Exploit. Return the songs. And now we'll ploy. So I hit a Reaping, but I have like no mana floating. Come on, songs off the top rope. Alright, so this is going to be incredibly risky. We're going to cast Reaping with 1 mana floating with 2 Street Rates. We need the Street Rates to hit a Songs of the Damned in the first 2 draws. Oh no! I was narrating and I didn't click the Street Rates. Oh my god. Oh, I'm the worst. I am the actual worst. I can't believe I did that. Dark Ritual. Might as well let one of these resolve now. That was so dumb. Come on, deck, please. Nope. Alright. Would have fizzled anyway. I have to pass the turn. They're cycling in Ash Barrens. And it looks like our opponent's in the similar boat as we were with being stuck on creatures. They have 3 in the graveyard. My Songs of the Damned currently makes 5 mana, which is just not enough. Alright, let's cycle. Alright, cycle of Vantasaur. So if I Dark Ritual into Scob, I can play this for 8. Is that good enough? There's only 1 Songs in my graveyard. I'm over halfway through. Alright, we're going to test it out. Exploit. Get back the only songs that's in here. Cast it. We have 8 mana here, so we're going to cycle again. Okay. Cycle. Come on, duck. There we go. So now we can use Teachings to get Reapings, but then we just got it. I think we have to win. Okay. Wow, that's good. Okay, we got it. Storm 7. Let's cancel. Let's flashback Teachings. Gotta be something good to get here, right? Just casual 17 mana here. Scob. I think this is a concession. Yep, okay. So we got the important game. Now the next game is the Bloodbath game, where if they're playing the same list, there's 4 Duress, 3 Macabre. It's going to be nasty. Really, really tough post-board games. I like boarding out Lotus Petal just because the games become really, really brutal, and you don't want to be drawing Lotus Petals. So that leaves you at 64. You have to find some other stuff to board out. I won the last time by beating down with Horror of the Broken Lands when we got paired. So I don't want to board that out because the matchups really do become about Fairy Macabre. So I think you don't want to take these out. So I'm thinking that maybe you board out like Architects and maybe a Teachings, but that might be crazy. You could also look at maybe boarding out a land. I guess we're on the draw. I could try boarding out a land. It's a little bit crazy, but I just feel like the games end up becoming really, really grindy. Let's try this out. The last time we played, they were anti-duress, and they were very pro-dispel. So I'm sort of thinking that they might still be on dispel, but they could have like a mixture of duress and dispel, where I have no dispels. Instead, I'm playing Hydroblast for the red matchups. This hand's insane as long as I draw a land. Am I supposed to bank on that, though, after just boarding one out? They kept 7. This hand's so good, though. Am I really supposed to mulligan this? We have 5 untapped swamps. No lotus petals. I think we just have to mulligan. And this honestly is not much better. Bottom the ploy, I guess. No fairy macabres. Alright, they cycle Street Wraith and no other cycler, so I think that they probably have a heavy fairy macabre hand. And if that's the case, should I be trying to beat down with horror? Alright, draw. Pass the turn. They did draw a creature. So they must have drawn one for turn. Alright, so I have a strong feeling they have a Fairy Macabre hand. I could cycle the Ash Barrens, but I'm so far behind that I don't love that as a play. Come on, Duress. Let's cycle Stinger. Cycle. It's not great. Problem is, I fear that I'm going to die if I pass. You know, I'm just going to pass the turn. Yeah, they didn't have any creatures. They're definitely sitting on a bunch of Fairy Macabres. They have 7 cards, cycle. Grab the island. Draw. Cycle. I could try going beatdown, I just don't love it. I think I'm going to cycle. Pass the turn. They drew their blue source, so now they have Dispel available. I'd like to draw one of my 4 Duress. Cycle. Alright, I think I'm going to attempt to go for it here. Come on, deck. Give me Duress. Alright, let's remove Street Wraith and Stinger. Alright, so we're going to respond. Songs of the Damned. They have a Dispel. Songs of the Damned. And we're going to attempt to Reaping. I know that they likely have a fairy in hand, so we'll target Fairy Macabre, Street Wraith, and then some of this other stuff. Our opponent says good games, and we got it! Nice! We are now 4-0 and going for the trophy. Stick around for match number 5. If you're looking for more great Magic the Gathering content, definitely check out the Eternal Glory podcast. It is myself, Bryant Cook, alongside Brian Koval and Phil Gallagher. We primarily discuss Legacy. That said, a lot of what we talk about transcends all formats. We're available on all major podcast platforms. Okay, the 5th and final match for the trophy. We're on the draw, and here we've opened up a hand where I can actually turn 1 Horror of the Broken Lands. I don't know, I'm kind of tempted. Let's see how this goes. I'm going to keep. I'm sure there's some of you screaming at your computer right now about not keeping this. And we get to see a turn 1 Swift Spear, so it's not a horror matchup. So I could be punished for this. Draw. Let's cycle Street Wraith. And cycle this. Lotus Petal. Dark Ritual. Cycle. Cycle. Alright, I'm gonna do it. Come on, deck, please. Cycle. If we get a Reaping the Graves here, we could go for a turn 1. Cycle. Reaping? Reaping? Come on, deck, please give me a Reaping the Graves. Like, I legitimately have never had a turn 1. If we hit a Reaping the Graves here, I think we could go for a turn 1. Come on, deck, please. Ah. What a heartbreaker. Even if we had a blue source there, I could have played Ploy into the teachings that could have gotten the Reaping the Graves. Oh, jeez. And now I think we're just dead. We suspend Riftbolt. We'll take 1. Sure, we'll take more than 1. So we're going to 10. Draw. The next card. You gotta be kidding me. Alright, so technically we're still alive if I draw exactly a Swamp. Or another Lotus Petal. But I'm pretty sure we're just dead. One draw away from a turn 1 win. We have to be dead here. Yeah, we're dead. Alright. You got it. Post-board games. So here we take out the Street Wraiths. Bring in the Blast. And the extra Ploy. Submit. We're looking to keep hands that are a little bit more consistent. Obviously, that hand had some risk to it. I understand. I got burned, and we're just going to focus on getting these next two. Wonderful. Keep. Alright. Cycle. Pass the turn. Mountain into Epicure. Draw. Cycle. Pass. So they're going to get in for 1. I'll fall to 18. So no Swift Spear here. Needle Drop. They're looking for lane 2 and they missed. Alright, cycle. I'm also looking for land 2. I technically found it. Let's cycle another creature. And there's land 3. So we're missing a Reaping the Graves, but I do have a Teachings with a Lotus Petal. I have 4 creatures in graveyard, 1 in hand. When it gets in, we'll go to 16. Another Epicure. Sure. Alright. Our opponent's tapped out. Alright, I'm going to cycle the Stinger. I was thinking about just playing the Teachings and passing, but it does feel like a waste of Storm. So we'll sacrifice this for a blue. Cast a Cabal Ritual, now that I have Threshold. Cast Teachings. Go get Reaping the Graves. Storm is 4. This will be 5. Storm 6. And I can hold on to this Songs for a little bit. Okay, so cycle. Cycle. And again. Let's cast that. Cycle. Jeez, this has been pretty bad. Okay, cycle. So I can make 11 mana and 2 Teachings, or I can just pass the turn. The problem is if they untap and have a Blast. I'm going to pass the turn. I don't see the point in like using 2 Songs of the Damned and a Dark Ritual to return some creatures to my hand with 1 mana floating. Like, I'm just not going to win. Our opponent's stuck on lands. It just doesn't make sense to me. They're going to use a blood token. They discard the Alchemist. They attack for 2. I'll go to 13. They discard Fireblast. And there's a Reaping the Graves. Okay. It's Reaping for 4. Alright, so we have plenty of mana here. Need more cyclers. I don't know why I played a land. That was actually really dumb. Like, nothing to be gained from playing a land to start off this turn, because now I shut myself off of blue. Don't play like I do. It's just awful. Yeah. Okay, so now we'll flash back this teachings. Jeez. This game is not going my way. I think I'm supposed to get Reaping, because at least I could get back Cyclers. Where if I get Songs, that doesn't actually help me with anything. So even if our opponent drew a land here, they could attack for 2, put me to 11, and then go Bolt, Bolt, Fireblast, which is 1 short of lethal. There's the Swift Spear. They're getting in for 3. I'm going to go to 10. Draw. Come on, deck, please. Cycle. Is Storm 2 worth it? So risky. It's so risky. I feel like I could be dead if I pass, though. Songs of the Damned. Reaping the Graves for literally 2. This is embarrassing. Okay. Cycle. Come on, deck. Give me Island. Island? Alright, I'll take that, because now I can cast the Ploy. And I'm actually going to play the Swamp, because it gives me an extra life. Alright, and now cast the Ploy. I think we want to keep all this stuff, so we'll discard a Hydroblast. Pass the turn. So next turn, let's say our opponent taps out. I could go Celebrant, land, Scob, Songs, blast a couple things, Reaping. Our opponent suspends Riftbolt. They have not drawn a land. That's some bad luck. Okay. So let's do this. Play the Celebrant. We'll cast this, paying for a blue. Exploit. Get back Songs of the Damned. Cast this. I don't think I want to use Ploy. Pay a life. We'll blast the Swift Spear. Pay a life. Blast this. Reaping. Alright. So I'm going to just return everything. How much mana does Songs make? 5? Is that worth it? It's actually not much of a gain here, so I'm just going to cycle. So now it would make 7 if I returned. Alright, I talked myself into it. I don't know why I do this to myself. Alright, exploit. Get back Songs. Cast it for 7. It's not much of a difference, but it is a lot of life off Ploy. Okay. Keep cycling. Now I'm going to pay a life, and we can jumpstart the Ploy, discarding Swamp. Alright. Pass the turn. So our opponent can kill the Celebrant, but I don't know how much I care about that, really. 1 Reaping, 2 Reaping, 3 Reaping. All 4 Reapings and Scob are gone. That's bad. Do I actually win this game? I have to win via beatdown. And they just killed my Celebrant. So I can't even just like play an opposing Vantisor and a healer. I might have just lost. Yikes. Draw. So they're at 5 cards in hand and I'm at 9 life. There's still 2 ploys in my deck, but I don't know how meaningful that actually is. Cycle. So there's a win condition. Question is, can I live? I just want to make sure I'm counting this right. 1, 2, 3, and reaping 4. And I use my scob. I can't believe I wasn't tracking that. Literally, I have no way to win the game right now. There's 2 ploys in the deck. Alright, so... undo. I can't teachings for it. I'm just going to cast it and pass. Opponent has hit land 3. Probably dead here. Alright, I'm at 6. They discarded a Fire Blast, which likely tells me that they have Blast in hand. So I guess I'm damned if I responded with songs there. Yeah, so they just had enough burn. So even if I responded there with the songs, they would bolt Fire Blast me in response anyway, so I'd be dead. Yeah. They got me. So we did not get the 5-0. Our deck sort of just floundered in the second game. That's a bummer. Let's go back to the deck list. Sorry, I was in the middle of doing something and I forgot about it. Getting rid of junk cards I don't want in my collection. Go to... here it is. The Dimir list. I still think Hydroblast is where you want to be. I don't like... it. Like, if the burn deck does its thing, you don't want to be on Nas. It's way too slow. That game, or honestly, that match was sort of a bad example. I mean, you can look at this and go, Bryant lost, so he's making excuses. Or you can look at it from like a pretty realistic perspective, in my opinion, which is game 1, we kept a pretty risky hand and were punished. Game 2, our opponent kept a 1-lander where we sort of just like didn't do anything meaningful, and like we attempted to combo multiple times and just kept on fizzling. So it's also tough because like the Hydroblast, if they actually were the Architects, not that I think you're not supposed to sideboard there, but that specific game Architects would have been better because we just got stuck on a bunch of blue cards, which was really, really awkward. Small sample size, 1 match. I would play this same exact list in another league. Like, I would run it back. I really, really like this list. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I'd appreciate that, and thanks for watching, and keep storming. Hey, Bryant Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.